Okay everybody, in case you haven't figured out what I'm doing yet, I do sand casting, and I melt down scrap aluminum and make little ingots and stuff to fit in my crucible for my regular furnace that's insulated. But I can't fit these car parts in there, and it's a pain in the ass cutting this shit up with the angle grinder. Can't really use an oxyacetylene torch on aluminum. All it does is make a mess and melt it. So I decided to go ahead and make me another furnace. No insulation, no nothing. Just out of this steel can. And I went ahead and domed the bottom like I showed you earlier. Basically dropping a 8-pound piece of 3-inch cold roll through a 9-foot pipe until it hit the bottom and punched out the bottom into basically a funnel. So I popped me a hole. The aluminum is going to melt, run down this channel I formed, and go into this makeshift mold in the sand. Well, that's the plan anyway. So I went ahead and hooked up my regular aluminum melting burner, but I added the hair dryer to it. So I'm going to use forced air and really crank up the heat on this thing. This thing's going to be putting out a bunch of BTUs, probably about 350,000 BTUs. And I've got the hair dryer hooked up to a dimmer switch so I can adjust the speed of this thing. But we're going to crank this thing up and we're going to have some fun, and I'm going to bring you guys back once it's fired up, and we're going to melt some car parts. Okay, I got you guys set up outside. We kind of got a view of what's going on here. I just threw this thing together. I'm having some fun today. This ain't a pretty furnace by any means. And I had to even throw a couple pieces of rebar on top because my normal furnace lid does not fit this shop vac thing. So I have to basically set my lid on top of the rebar, because the idea of a furnace is to keep the heat in, not let it out. So I rigged up something to at least keep some of the heat in. The forced air is going to go ahead and help me keep this thing nice and hot. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to burn the paint off, and that should probably not take too long. So let me get the gas flowing and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, I've got this thing ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and throw in some car parts and get this thing fired up. And we're going to watch some paint burn off. Okay, here we go, and I'm sorry about the shaky video if it's all over the place, but it's windy as heck out here today, and I've got an iPad up on a tripod, and it's basically a big sail in the wind, so sorry about any shakiness in the video, but let's fire this thing up and start burning off some paint. Anybody that owns one of these that doesn't light it with a piece of paper, they're over here with a lighter and or a propane torch or something like that, that's just dumb. Light it with a damn piece of paper. Be safe. Alright, hair dryer blew it out because I didn't have enough fuel on, so we're going to light her again. blow all the propane out of the system. Again, blew out the flame. Should be a sealed system, so I think this big gap going around the top because the lid doesn't fit is causing me a problem, so I might have to forego the forced air. Blowing the propane out of the system. You don't want to be dropping this thing in there when that thing's full of propane. It'll blow up in your face. So I'm just going to go ahead and light this thing and not put any forced air on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to yank this thing off for now. And just get it going. Alright, well I got her fired up. Had to play with the propane pressure a little bit. But as you can see, that paint is going to burn off pretty dang quick. Paint versus a couple 100,000 BTU doesn't stand a chance. So I'm going to let this sucker warm up for a little bit. Then I'm going to take this lid off and start dropping in some car parts. Bring you guys back in a few. Alright guys, we don't have any more smoke coming off this thing. That paint is totally gone, inside and outside. So I'm going to go ahead and start dropping in some car parts, and let's watch some melt. If everything comes together as planned, that is. Okay, now that the paint's burned off, we're going to get the show on the road here. Grab some gloves and grab some car parts. Get rid of some of this paint inside. And that should be enough for now. So let me get her fired up. Okay, well, we got some car parts in there and we got some heat going, so it's going to have to get up to some temperature. Aluminum melts around 1200, so we're going to give it a little bit of time, and hopefully we start seeing some aluminum flowing down that channel into the makeshift mold. Time will tell. It's been a fun day so far. See if it gets funner. Okay, well, I went ahead and hooked the hairdryer back up now that we got some kind of temperature going on. Forced air needs the interior of the furnace to be extremely hot so it could keep relighting the propane. Because on a cold furnace, forced air, initially right off the bat, unless you're just cranking a bunch of propane, the air will generally blow the flame out, which was what was happening earlier. But I've got it going now, and it's burning off some impurities, probably some gaskets off that water pump or something. Maybe more paint on the inside, who knows. But it's getting hot, so we'll see if we start seeing any aluminum flowing out of here anytime soon. Well, the thinner of the two parts is starting to crumble, so I know that one's on the verge of melting. How far we are away from seeing a stream of aluminum coming down that channel, I have no idea. If we see one at all. Maybe once it leaves the interior, it just solidifies right on the sand and doesn't even pour down. I don't know. I've never done this before, so it's all trial by fire. Well, this doesn't work nearly as well as my insulated furnace, which you can kind of see back there next to the trash can in the corner of the shed door there. That one's got 2 inches of insulation all the way around the inside. Actually about 2.5. And then with the lid capping it tight, there's no heat getting out of that. I've got a bunch of heat loss on this, and it's not really made to do what I'm doing, but I got tired of tripping over these damn car parts, so we're going to try and melt them. Okay guys, well, I'm starting to see some aluminum pouring down the channel. I don't know about you guys, but she's trying to work. That aluminum's probably going to cool down so fast the aluminum's going to cool down so fast, I think, that it won't even reach the mold I have at the bottom. Now if I had some kind of plug or valve to where I could fill that thing up and then just open it, I think that would work better. So that might be in the works. Well, I went ahead and yanked out the piece that was coming down that little channel. It's cooling off too fast to actually get down to my mold, so I guess my channel is going to be my mold. But those thin little pieces, actually it's pretty thick, probably about 1 inch around. Those will fit in my crucible, so mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned. But we've got some aluminum flowing now. And we just might have some aluminum floating into the damn mold. Come on, go. Go. Well, it's trying. Well, we got a little pile of aluminum in front of my mold, and it looks like it's trying to go in the mold, but it's just cooling off too damn quick. The mold is actually too far away from where the aluminum comes out. But she's trying to get down there. I think it's all piling up underneath that hole, so I'm going to continue to pull that stuff out. It was pretty fun though. Okay, well, we got aluminum piling up in the channel, so I'm going to go ahead and yank it out. Well, it didn't turn out as planned as far as my mold goes, but I'm melting these damn parts, so we're okay, so we're starting to stockpile some damn aluminum over here. Not the prettiest operation in the world, but I really don't. Well, guys, I ended up getting a big pile of aluminum. Man, that stuff's still hot. So I think I'll just leave that alone for now. But yeah, I got some nice stuff. All this will fit in my crucible. So when I need to do sand casting, at least I have some material. I'm going to go ahead and weigh all this stuff up. And wanted to show you guys the remnants of what is left. This is all the steel parts that were left up on the car parts. All the aluminum melted and ran out and left me all the junk steel. See, and the beautiful thing about this is, you know, let's say you're a scrapper and you just want to take the aluminum down to the scrapyard and sell it. That's not why I do it, but, you know, other people may, you know, scrap aluminum for money. I basically do it to get stock to do my sand casting. But the scrapyard isn't going to give you top dollar if there's a bunch of steel mixed in with the car parts, even though they're aluminum. They're going to lowball you, and you're not going to get the money that you need, or should get, if it looked like that. So basically, I'm separating out the aluminum from the steel while the fire is, and I could pour that out, and there's no aluminum left. All the aluminum ran out that hole in the bottom that you see, and the only thing that's left is the junk steel and maybe a little miscellaneous aluminum slag and shit like that. But for the most part, all the good aluminum is right there, and I'm going to go ahead and weigh it up, and I'll put the total weight down in the description, but I'm guessing it's about 13 pounds, something like that. I mean, you're not going to get rich off it, but for sand casting, that's a pretty nice haul for, you know, spending a little time turning on a propane torch and basically chopping up a old shop vac thing I found on the side of the road. So it works for me. Car parts didn't cost me nothing. As a matter of fact, that water pump actually was mine. It was floating around for a couple of years because I've replaced it. And you know, now I think the water pump's right there, or it might be over here, or, well, whatever, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I kind of ran out of disk space on my iPad. I thought I was taking videos. Turned out they were all blank because I used up all my available space. I knew I should have bought the 64 gigabyte iPad, but I was cheap. So I lost some video and dumped everything via Dropbox over to the iMac to free up some space so I can get some video of the haul here. And I got some cleaning up to do. But yeah, it worked good. That stuff will pour right into the garbage. And I'm going to save that can for next time I get some big parts. Okay, guys. Florida Fisherman out. Y'all have a good one. Alright, guys. Well, I decided to go ahead and weigh it in front of you. In case you don't believe me. Because I've been known to lie in the past. Especially about how much I've drank. Maybe to police, but just kidding. We turn the thing on and start stacking some aluminum on here. Pound and a half. Just a UPS scale. Trying to hold the thing steady, but got hot aluminum in my hands for up to 5 pounds. A little bit of sand on stuff, so plus or minus a couple of grams. The 9 pounds, I guesstimated 13. We'll see how close I am. Scales jumping all over the place. .2. So I may not get my 13. Try and stack this stuff on here. And this looks like pretty much the end of it. Maybe another ounce. A couple of small pieces. Didn't even move the scale. Well, keeps going down on me. Damn it. So, 11.4. Come on, go up to 11.6 at least. I've had bass bigger than this haul. But, not bad. Nice clean aluminum. And this is quality aluminum because it came from car parts and they don't use junk aluminum like extruded. So I'm actually going to keep this stuff separate and use it for my good sand castings. Okay, Florida Fisherman out. You guys have a good one. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.